Hey guys, what's up? I haven't done a photo video in a while, so I figured I would do that. I have some product in hand that I need to get some product shots for. I'm gonna show you how in about 10 minutes, I'm gonna take one camera in my unbelievably messy garage gym and hopefully be able to get a couple good shots with this that are actually usable for a website, social media, stuff like that. Got the shirt here from Nice Lift Company. You can check them out on Instagram. Put the little thing up there. Yeah, and here we go. So I'm gonna use Z6 today. I have 24 to 70 2.8 from Tamron, and then I have a Sigma 35 1.8 over here. I don't know if I'm gonna use it at all. This is a pretty tight spot, but we're just gonna go with it. So this is just gonna be stream. I'll edit this down a little bit, but for the most part, you're just gonna see exactly what I do and then see some of the results. First step, anytime you're shooting anywhere, and is very true for here, is my garage is a complete mess. And so a lot of times I'm not gonna have to worry about it because I'm gonna shoot kind of close up. But for something like this, I don't want stuff to bleed into backgrounds. So especially in a small space like this, I wanna use as much of the space as possible to convey some depth. So I definitely need to kind of clean out the paper towel rolls and the kid's truck and a garbage can and some of the garbage. So let's fast forward. I'm gonna do some of that. Okay, so initial cleanup is done. I'm not gonna go too crazy because a lot of stuff is gonna wind up getting moved. Kind of when I have a small space like this, kind of have to move things around. So let's just kind of get into it. All right, so we're on the wireless mic, so a bunch of times I'm not going to be looking at you. For the shirt, again, we're doing product stuff, doing it not with a person, considering I don't have a model and we're still in pandemic mode here. So what I'm thinking about doing, whoa, big time light change. We're going to do something that I'm not ever too happy about. We're going auto ISO, so here we go. All right, so first things I'm going to think about whenever you shoot product is try to make sure it's not all wrinkled up. I was pretty bad and forgot to take this out of the bag. So I do have like one kind of line here, but so I just need to be aware of that when I'm shooting, that I don't let that line sneak in. Otherwise you should de-wrinkle stuff big time. So first thing that I'm thinking about doing is really just seeing kind of how it'll show up and seeing what might work and what might not. So I have the blocks here, the drop mats. Maybe just do something like just drape it real simple, right? Do something like that. Let's see. So camera-wise, again, I got that 24 to 70 on, auto white balance, shooting raw, doing all those things. I'm gonna have the shutter probably around 1.320, and let's see what that does for my ISO. ISO is gonna be about 3200 here. I have an overhead light that's on, and then I have the garage door open. Let's see. You know, right here, I'm just getting the logo. I see that the wrinkle line really bad from where it was folded, so I'm not thrilled with that. Maybe do something like that. But especially in a spot like here, I want to emphasize that it's a gym, and so kind of connect the product to some of the materials it's around. You know, so it's about, a lot of times it's about figuring out how to drape it, right? So it might actually look like something, so whether you're gonna put it on weights, or maybe we're gonna put it like up on the pull-up bar, but then it's about then figuring out what we're gonna put in the background, right? To make sure people understand that it's a gym and that it looks right. So always a fun thing about the Z6, I can just fold this guy out. Oh yeah, maybe this is something. So get that pull-up bar going. And once I zoom in too, over here, I can get a little bit of this rope. What we're gonna do, because I have a gigantic roll of seamless paper hiding up here. We're gonna get this out of here. All right, throw that over there. How's our angle? Looking pretty good still? So now I have the shirt, all right, hanging on a pull-up bar, and you have some kind of CrossFit, you know, or functional fitness or whatever we're up to calling it nowadays, branding in the background. So I got the shirt hanging. I got the Rogue logo, but just a little bit of it so it doesn't scream that this is like a Rogue ad. And then I also have the handles of the Concept 2. But so the next step, this could be funny if I fall, is figuring out if getting higher on this is actually going to be good. But right there, getting higher didn't help that much because I now started getting the kids' toys and stuff in the background. But I don't know, for this product, they might be cool with the garage. But what I want to also do is make sure I'm getting some of this pull-up bar and all that in there so people understand what they're talking about here. Maybe there's something there, I don't know. All right, okay, we'd say we're done with that. What I also like to do is get the product and try to mix it with some like gym style settings. So like throw the kettlebell in there. So we just throw it on the floor, right? Maybe clump it a little bit, right? Make sure that label is kind of covered up. So let me turn this, angle this guy down a little bit. So we see products just kind of clumped up on the floor here. Let's see what we got. So this is actually pretty decent lighting for just getting across the logo, because at the end of the day, this is a black t-shirt with white letters. It's only so much you're gonna show, but so you're kind of just trying to show, you know, your usage scenario. So the idea that this is a warm-up shirt, it's thrown, it's crumpled up on the floor. So let's get it that it's, you know, crumpled up on the floor. All right, what do we got? So now what I would do is I like having these kettlebells that are like pretty bright colors because they'll help separate stuff out a lot. And that contrast in there. I'm gonna try to get real low. See what I can do here. All right, let's see. Because obviously these words got to be in, but I don't want to shoot down on it too hard. Okay, now we're starting to get somewhere. So now we're starting to get some of the gym environment, which I really like. Getting the kettlebells. And you're getting the color, you're getting the Rogue bag. And you just got to be like, not hesitate about just changing up the angles and stuff. So that so this is a kind of a cool concept that I feel like I'm hitting on, where we're getting, whoop, my head's cut off. Let me fix that. Whoop, 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 whoop. So this is kind of a better concept I feel like we're hitting on, where we're starting to get some of the gym elements into the frame, and you're getting some texture from the floor, the light coming in through the garage. It's starting to look okay. So now I'm just gonna try to pile in on that idea, add some more stuff. And at the same time, maybe move things, you know? Maybe a dumbbell. And like, again, you just gotta play around with it a little bit. You know, the messy gym. And also, very quickly, in an environment like this, you're gonna be able to get a lot from just changing up your angles. You know, there's no light coming from my right side. In this position, all the light is coming from my left side. So by just moving the items across that way, you're gonna have, all right, there we go. Just try to give it a little fluff and a little life. Okay, now we're starting to get something. Get low with it. Because again, the whole goal for me is trying to get some of this material that's in the background, get in the gear in the gym in, and seeing how that works. I'm not in love with it, but maybe just how this stuff kind of fell over here. We got the kettlebell, we got the dumbbell. You know, you just gotta play around with it. I've probably already said that 20 times. So I'm not trying to make like a mannequin. I'm just trying to see if I can, maybe. I don't know. I don't love it. All right, let's do something different. So I think the assault bike, let's see. I think the assault bike is probably gonna work for us. I might actually park it, move it over there, and then try to get some shots. And I hope you love my decor today. It's like 100 degrees in my garage, so this is what we're working with now. Yeah, I think assault bike's definitely going to be a good idea. So we're going to move that kind of into the better part of this zone. So also just got to remember to keep moving the other stuff back into its position. Man, the framing on this video is going to be just top notch. Okay, let's get back to there. Good. All right. So now we have bike set up. Again, might not be loving the way this is set. I just want to kind of have like this guy hanging here. So it's crucial that you see the point of this shirt, because they're not going to be able to sell it, because it's just going to look like a black t-shirt otherwise. But so getting it mixed with the assault bike, I feel like could do a thing. So trying to get the shirt kind of hanging on the bike. Maybe, I don't know. My background's a little messy. I think I got to get rid of those. So these bright blue gymnastic pads got to go. Creating a little too much distraction in the background, in my opinion. Let's move that over here. So let's see, what does this look like? So you got some gymnastic rings in the background. You clearly have it up on a bicycle. Let's move the arm a little bit and see what that does for us. Okay. All right, so I think I've kind of hit on, let me try one thing. Maybe throw it over the monitor instead. See if that's something. So that just looks like a mess of words. Let's see. Because again, you're supposed to, it doesn't need to be real, but it should try to look somewhat authentic. That looks ridiculous. So what I've kind of noticed is that the background sees those squat stands and they look weird just because they're standing up like that. Where are they? Over there. So what I'm going to do is just set up the squat rack behind it, because the next shot I wanted to do is actually having the shirt hang on a bar on a rack, considering the company's called Nice Lift. So we'll bring the squat stands out, set up a bar, have this hanging on it, and we'll see what that looks like. This is sort of always the fun part about shooting in this garage, is if I move one thing, I have to move like 5 other things. So we're going to use the, should we use the short bar just because it'll fit better? Yeah. All right, putting this guy in. All right, we'll see how that looks just with the empty bar on it, and then maybe we'll add some more stuff. As you can kind of tell, the light is going crazy outside. We're partly cloudy, so it's coming in and out. It's also reflecting off a car. Let's see what that looks like. Whoa, that is way too bright now. Okay, that actually looks kind of cool now. Okay, so now we got bar, we got bike, we got the rope in the background, and this shirt is really getting lit up like crazy because of the sun glare that's coming in. Let me see what happens if I move it over here. All right. All right, let's see what we got. So I also have to be, anytime you're using natural light, you have to be super mindful of where your shadow is casting. So right now I'm basically cutting right across and reflecting back there. So I gotta be very, very careful. Really want to try to get something else out of this bike setup. Maybe the seat. Let's see what that looks like. Again, I gotta get myself out of the shadow. I should try to make, the problem is right now the shirt is draping so much over the bike that I'm not getting any bike through. So it just kind of looks like I'm just using the bike as a very, very expensive stand. It looks good though with the squat stand in the background, in my opinion. It's not bad. Okay, let's get the bike back out of here. All right, so let's get t-shirt on bar. All right, there we go. Now we're talking. So let's try not to get too much of my son's drawings in the background and my scribble scrabble handwriting. But I do again want to incorporate that this is a bar on a squat rack. I think an easy way that we're going to do that is by getting some weight up on this bar. I think that's going to help. There we go. All right, now we're talking. Got a little weight on the bar. Squat stand set up. Maybe shoot across it. That way we get the bar on both sides. Here I'm getting now the weights, getting the bar. I don't know. Maybe to shoot straight on it too. But there I get into the trouble with my shadow. Let's see. And the camera shadow is directly on it right now. Let me move it over here, see if that works better. Ooh, this is on something now. I'm not getting too much shadow on it. I want to get that off just because it looks ugly. I've stayed pretty, well actually, I was going to say I've stayed very consistent on my settings, but I didn't even realize I dramatically changed the ISO. I'm still at f2.8, still at 320, but my ISO is down to 800 now. And that's just all the sun has been coming in. I don't know, I think I'm liking this setup a little more. Squat stand, some weights, t-shirt hanging. I don't know, we'll see if something there works. All right, let's see. Maybe we'll do one more setup. See what else we could do here. We got there. Okay. So again, I get to do the silliness now of having to move everything if I want to do something new. What I'm also trying to do a lot is, this is funny, this is a shirt that I actually really do want to have worn and beat up a little bit for a shoot like this. So give it a good wiggle. Not really sure what I'm going to do with it, but same kind of idea. Find some way to get some light on it. You know, because this is a shirt that should be worn, should be worked out in. Maybe it's just kind of like hanging like that. I don't know. It's only one way to find out. You can't overplan something like this. But now I need a little more light on there, a little more exposure. Cranking up the ISO. Let's see if we turn it a little bit, what happens. Okay, let's see there. I think I would like to get the whole shirt in the shot too. Okay, kind of like this because you're getting the whole frame here. Maybe one more. Whoop, moved a little bit on me. Oh no, it moved too much. That last move moved the shirt. I had it. Okay, there it goes. All right. Let's see what we got here. Okay. What was the one other thing I wanted to do? All right. So, last thing I wanted, two more things I wanted to do. First, I need to use the box that this camera is sitting on. So this might be extreme close-up time, but you're gonna deal with it. It's gonna be okay. Let's move you back just a little bit. This is a shot I've done many times before. Oh, I just realized I never quite got around to using the 35. Didn't really need it. Using the telephoto? Yeah, basic telephoto. Basic zoom, I should say. Of the 24-70, I like the extra compression that I get, especially in a small space. So, all right, so we got the wood box, wood jumping box. We'll maybe just do some extreme close-up action here so you can see what's happening. So we got the box, right? You get a little texture from the box, right? The tag is really big. I'm not in love with it. So, I don't know. I don't want to cut it out, but could screw up the shot a little bit. But this is an interesting way to try to get the bike in a little bit. I don't know. Not working out as good as it normally does. I don't really like their tags, so it's to me a huge distraction. Let's see if I back you up just a little bit. Kind of doing this half-assed with having to not use the whole box. Let me move this camera for a sec. We're good. Okay. So, shirt, box. This way, I can now get the tag out of there. All right? Get a little wood texture from the box. Ooh, there's the cheat. Fold that collar over. So I'm going to turn the shutter speed back down. It's not that this camera puts noise in, but if I can shoot at a ridiculously low ISO, like ISO 500, I would rather do that. So I'm now at 1/200th of a second, ISO 500, getting a little of that wood texture. All right. I do like shooting off of like corners and stuff, so you get a little of the extra texture of the wood. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. All right. Okay, so last thing I want to do is wear the shirt, get it super sweaty, and then take a couple more shots with that and see if it gets it flowing a little more naturally. And again, with something like this isn't necessarily going to be a clean product shot that's against white, but this might look good on an Instagram post or something like that for them to show the shirt sweaty, but also show it at a much higher quality than someone's going to do with a camera phone. All right, I think we have gotten this shirt sufficiently sweaty now. Maybe some of those wrinkles came out too. Got a couple wet spots. What I want to pretty much just do is throw it on the floor and see if anything comes out different than what we did before. All right, boom, just trash it there. Whew, good workout, good warm up. Show you what I got. Whatever, just draping it on the floor. And then try a really good right overhead shot. You also notice, again, I'm never really shooting straight on. I'm always trying to put a little angle to stuff. That way the light is coming from this way. The words have a little angle. I'm shooting a lot wider here. Getting a lot of stuff in focus. Getting the floor obviously in focus. And then maybe one or two we'll shoot across it. See how that looks with the dumbbells in the background. You know, I think it looks a little more lived in. Really didn't drench myself. See if anything else is catching my eye in here today. All right, end of the shoot. I'm going to take it upstairs for the edit now. See you there. Back in the office now. I've put all the files on the computer. Side note, I actually have this all on the Synology network drive, which is my backup system and actually editing system that I use off of now. I have none of this on the local computer. It's all coming up over the network. And surprisingly, even though Lightroom's slow, this doesn't slow it down at all. So in what actually worked out to be like 20 minutes of shooting downstairs, even though most of that time was just moving equipment, I got 157 photos, and we're going to go through, we're going to edit them. All right, so all I'm going to do on my edit process is I just use basically a binary system where I'm going to use the right bracket to increase the rating to 1 star if I like it, and if I don't like it or it doesn't immediately grab me, I just move on. All right, let's get into this. Make sure this is still good. Good. Okay, so I immediately see, and this is what things you just sometimes cannot see unless you're looking at a computer screen, is there is a big, gigantic hair right there. So that's definitely a dud, but it's a pretty bad picture anyway, so it doesn't matter. So here we go. And again, like right now, I'm not gonna worry too much if they're good or not. I'm just trying to have something to start sampling from. So like this was a series I remember that I kind of started liking. Just figuring out how stuff kind of laid right. That's a good picture of the ground. Stuff like this is a good close-up. I cannot believe there was a hair right there the entire time. It's not even a hair. I think it's like a piece of fabric. But this floor shot definitely looks good. The grain between the floor tile and the shirt helps it make it look better than just a quote-unquote black shirt. Then we started bringing in some weights. Let's see. Okay, the weights are here, like that. Okay, we got some vertical shots. I'm into it. There was dumb placement with the dumbbells. That I like. Again, these don't need to match. The biggest thing that holds up editors is thinking too much. Like, is that perfect? No. Ooh, this kind of starts working now. What I do like seeing though is when I have like a 3 or 4 or 5 shot series, and as it gets deeper into the series, the image starts coming together. You know, you can start seeing that, like, okay, I started here, then I got to here. It's like, oh wow, that is much better. It starts kind of getting the look I was going for. You know, and with the letters on this, it's always kind of tough because you want to make sure the message is coming across on the shirt. So this would have been a very good picture, but the camera shadow is like all over it. But once you get a little tighter, it's fine. And then I moved the shirt too. But, you know, when we take these pictures out of context, I think, and you don't see the BTS video of me shooting in my cramped little garage, I have a feeling these are going to look a lot stronger, and they're going to do the job, especially in like a social media capacity or even in like a live product shot capacity. But again, these were those shots where I'm just crowded on top of the box, folding up the collar. Whoa, where'd it go? Where'd everything go? That was the end. You know, or I just folded up the collar to try to get rid of it. And yeah, okay. You know, and I'm giving myself plenty to work with. There's a good picture of my toes. You know, trying to get like this vertical down. Like, I actually kind of like this. This is the one I quote unquote sweated it up. Oh, that's what I should have done. Didn't even think about it, but I should have. Whoa, what's going on here? My mouse is going nuts today. I should have incorporated these grips. That's super CrossFitty, but whatever. Next shoot, all right? Cool. I think that works. Okay, so next step I'm going to do is I'm going to select one star. And again, I've not talked about editing at all. I'm just looking for quality. I don't like that. So actually, I'll go back. So what I'm going to do from here is actually really just select what's actually good. This is one shirt on one run. I'm not going to give them like, what is this, 41 pictures? I'm not going to edit 41 pictures. But so the things I'm looking for now is I am going to be a little more discerning. And like shots in a series, like something like this, you have to make sure the whole word is in focus. This might work. So all I'm doing now is going back through and doing a double star. So pressing that right bracket one more time. Let's see what we got here. I think that looks pretty cool. That looks pretty cool. I know I said I wasn't going to give them that much, but the more I'm looking at stuff like this, I kind of like it a lot. You know, getting the difference between the V and a W, I just want to make sure. You know, putting it with the right gear really helps that authenticity. Oh yeah, so you can see here I made a really good fix. I have so my squat stand is like super cheap and horrible. So I use these like furniture pads to stop the bar from getting scratched up. So when it crashes in there, it doesn't scratch up the bar or the rack as much, but it looks horrible in the picture. So all I just did, boom, took it off. Looks much better.
I think I can work with that. So it's so funny. Looking at this one looks horrible. It looks like a deflated person. This one looks way better. You know, I'm going to edit a little more than normal just because this is some good content. Love it. Yeah, I think that actually becomes too wide. Okay, so now I'm going to go to 2-star, and now to me, the first real step of an editing process, before you can actually make any decisions on look, is going to be in the crop. I think cropping is just so important, so underrated maybe, because you can really recompose here so much. And a fun trick is if you bring up your crop window, crop a picture, and then press Command right arrow, it'll keep that window open as you go to the next one, which is just the best. This is how you start firing through stuff. So all I'm gonna do really is just chew through shots and see what I can put together here. Because to me, again, the crop really makes the shot. So I might maybe we'll leave some of this stuff in here. And I did not clean my floor. And yes, that's partially laziness, but also this is a shirt that's thrown on the floor in the gym, right? So let's play that up. I have a bad habit of cropping every single photo. I very rarely don't even do like a slight tweak, but whatever, you got the megapixels, use them, right? Okay, there we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Really, I'm just trying to get rid of some of the fluff and make sure it's all killer, no filler. Okay, let's see. Okay, so biggest part of this crop is getting me out of it and getting all the money stuff in. Okay, I like this. What are these children doing? Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is make my photoshopping job easier by getting rid of the stain that's down there on the floor. Okay, cool. So crops are done. Well, also, by the way, we're down to 22. We went 157 down to 22. So let's look at the edit here. You notice if you look over here, I already have an edit applied. When I imported in Lightroom, I brought in with a basic edit. The edit is very simple. People ask me for this preset all the time. There's no magic to it. All I'm doing is adding some contrast, pulling highlights down, pushing shadows up. It's actually kind of interesting. I don't know why that's kind of weird. But then the whites, the blacks are pulled. We're punching them up a little bit. Ooh, maybe we'll darken them today. I don't know. Let's be wild. Let's be maniacs. Clarity punched up a little bit. Like this would be 0. It's up at 34. Saturation just a little bit. Vibrance just a little bit. The biggest batch imports that you should, batch edits that you should always be doing is making sure profile correction is on. Just for example, without it, with it. It noticeably changes the exposure and changes the overall feel of the image quite a bit. So always make sure you have your profile corrections on. And then up here, and I really appreciate Adobe moving this up to top, your color profile is huge. Like just for example, if I go there to there, maybe it's not hitting from you as much as from me, but these are massive shifts. And when you start, in the older versions, there were a lot more options there, or it would bring in your camera profiles, and it was just huge differences image to image. I have a very, very minuscule noise reduction on, and that'll usually just help fill in some of the blacks a little bit. But the Z6 is a great camera, no problem there. But so what I'm looking for here is I across the board want to punch up these blacks. So I'm going to pull the blacks down, and a fun trick is you can hold the Option key, and as you move this, you're going to see 100% black come in. So that means is right here is now 100% black. Same thing with the whites. If I go up in them, I'm seeing where 100% white is, meaning there is no more whiter, there is no more blacker. You could do that also with shadows, that if I start pulling shadows down, what does that do? Boom. You know, you're going to see how that really changes the image. So if this is before, this is after, before, after. Love it. I'm going to pull across, just so I have a very consistent look here. I'm going to pull across those shadows, whites, and blacks tweaks that I made here to the other images. I'll pull this screen here. So highlights, shadows, whites, blacks. I already did that, and I'm going to hit synchronize. And just to make sure it does a batch edit for me, if I go back to library, previews, build one to, oh, I didn't want one-to-ones. Library, previews, build standard size. Okay, this will just burn through these real quick. Let's have a quick break from our coffee sponsor. Little Flux double shot in the afternoon. Flux Coffee, check them out. Okay, so let's see what we got now. Okay, building standard size previews. For some reason, it's hanging up on that last one. Okay, there we go. Love it, love it, love it. So what I'm actually gonna have to do here is that hair would drive me absolutely crazy. So I'm gonna do a heel, make it real small, see if I can just kind of tweak this guy right out. Yeah, gone. Look, no one in a million years would ever know that that was there. Same thing. I'm gonna pull it out. So no reason to go into Photoshop. Yep, that is fine. Yep, no one's gonna notice that. Very, very small tweak, but it gives a real professional touch. You know, I'm not even going into Lightroom to do this stuff. Something that maybe even I struggle with sometimes is really figuring out what the color should be. Product photography is crucial to make sure that the product is the color that it actually is. But then once we start drifting into, okay, well, it's not going to be the official product photo in an Amazon square that's white on white. Can you play with it a little bit? Yeah, but customer returns could go up quite a bit if you're wrong. So what I always want to make sure to do is, whether I follow it or not, make sure I'm getting some baselines on color. And so anytime I use this eyedropper tool, and I know that that white was white, right? It's going to give me a better reading. And it gave a very, very minuscule tweak to that color. But you're seeing shifts in the white balance, photo to photo, and that can affect the color. With black, it's not too bad, but some of these, it really does put some tint into it. What I want to make sure, though, is that the white letters don't start becoming yellow. Like here, I feel like they're a little yellow, and you can see the white balance is up to 6100 now. The second I do that sample on the white, it brought it back down to 5000, or in that 5000 range, which I feel like is a much more accurate rendering of the color in that shirt. Stylistically, I might like this image a little more warmed up, like even there. Maybe that's crazy, but I think that looks pretty good. But because it is a product shot, oh, come on, what's going on here? Let's just tweak that back to where it was. I'll just pull a sample again. I think because it is a product shot, it should be a closer reading of the actual color. And also here's good because there's a lot of blacks, and you can see that this is not a 100% black t-shirt. So this is also where you should get really picky this final round. Like if the concept is assault bike, should both of those be in? Yeah, I'm cool with it. Oh, but there's that tricky hair again. Let's get rid of that guy. All right, get it real small here. Gone. Then you just have to make sure your sample is good. Good. Perfect. This is an easy one. That texture is really good at hiding stuff. But I definitely think, as much as I wanted to like this, this looks like a towel now. It doesn't look like a t-shirt. Gone. Like that. Like that. Like that. So I'm going to tighten up this crop, because especially on this one, I noticed how much garbage is in the background. And I don't want that to be a distraction. Another fun trick I like to do to get rid of stuff is do kind of a focused vignette here. So if I do that, what's going on here? What is going on here? What is going on here? I don't know what's going on here. Lost my mind. Okay, let's zero this out. Okay, so just bring the exposure down. Do that. And now I got a nice little spotlight. Because what that's doing is it's turning everything else down. Doing that there. What I might also couple that with is actually turning up the overall exposure a little bit. And now I got some nice fun vignetting going on. This I like. This I like. Good option for them. This piece of white, that's actually my kid's sunscreen that's into the tile. I just don't like it because it's a little too strong for me. Like, it's too strong, I mean, in the picture, it's hurting my eyes. Your eyes are always going to get pulled to that brightest spot, so I don't want it in there. I don't want just stray white in my image. But again, amazing, absolutely amazing what this heel brush can do now. Especially when it's not like a person's face and it's not in the focus of the shot. Love it. Boom. I'm going to pull that out again. Just because I just feel like that spot over here is a little distracting. Always wait till you get the sample back. But that's incredible what that did with that pattern. The pattern is perfect still. It's incredible. Let's just look at that again. Let's just marvel at that one more time. Before. After. Before. After. Before. That is incredible that it identified the tile pattern and just removed the white. Incredible. Okay. Okay. Ooh, let's get that hair again. Is it in both of these? Yeah, I think so. All right. They've definitely upgraded this heel function. The biggest thing is I just don't want it to overlap and hit the white. I want it to only be sampling from black and only trying to fix black. There, I don't really see it that bad. Let's just fix the color on this one, because I bet, yep, it's a little weird. A little too, that's kind of cool. I like it like right around there. Maybe just darken this whole thing a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Let's just do a sample and see what it says. Cool. Especially when you start staring too long, your eyes lose all concept of what color is. Cool. What do we end up with? 21 shots. I thought we got rid of one. Just make sure. I thought it was one in the assault bike sequence. Maybe it was 22 and I cut it down to 21. Okay, cool. Love it. Let's look at myself. Yeah, so I'm going to export these off. This was a fun shoot. Did the whole shoot in, what did I say, 10 minutes? It turned out to be 20 minutes because I had stuff to move. And the edit took, how long is this video? Edit took 19 minutes. That's way too long. Mostly just because I was talking a lot. But yeah, super fun. Again, check out Nice Lift Co. If you found anything interesting on the shooting side of this or the editing side of this, please leave a comment, like, subscribe. If anything was useful, click one of those product links. Buy something from me. I'd appreciate it. Gives me a little kickback. Yeah, and again, check out Nice Lift Co. That's it.